The spirit of the script felt collaborative, and that's my favorite experience. I love being with people who are just constantly open to making things better, regardless of ego. That being said, I think Margot's confidence and how comfortable she is in her own skin was something that I hadn't played before, and I was excited about that, and excited about the prospect of a performance within a performance. I thought that that would be fun.
So one of the main pleasures of the film is that you never know where it's going. At any given scene, you can't predict what's going to happen. And I'm wondering if that's what the experience was like for you guys when you were reading the script. I mean, how much of the story did you know beforehand?
The only thing I had a vague inkling about was that this relationship was potentially not what it seemed. I don't think anybody other than Seth and Will could have guessed where the ending was going. You having now seen the film, I think, you know the scene that I'm referencing.
Hmm.
How does anyone get there? Reading a script. So yeah, I think it was how original it was. That was the bit that was really exciting about it.
It's one of his classics. You have to try the mouthfeel of the mignonette.
Please don't say mouthful.
Was there any moment, and this for both you guys, where you were like, yes, I want to play this character, or did you kind of have to see it through and see how it ended first?
I think one of the things that was stood out about Tyler quite early on, there's a scene where Margot turns to him and says, "Are you crying?"
Yeah.
And he's meant to have been like getting emotional and misty-eyed about what was happening in this restaurant, and it summed up that character so perfectly to me that he would be crying
Yeah.
and it was so
Genuine,
overwhelming.
yeah, but genuine emotion.
Yeah, that made me laugh a lot, but also I was like, oh, this is going to be a fun ride to be on.
He's not just a chef, he's a storyteller. The game is trying to guess what the overarching theme of the entire meal is going to be. You won't know till the end.
Anya, how about you? I mean, were you intrigued, or was it sort of when we learned a little bit more about Margot that you were like kind of convinced that you wanted to take this role?
No, I definitely saw it all the way through, and I'd had the opportunity to talk to Mark about it and kind of go through a couple of little things in the script where I was like, oh, this could be tighter in this way, or like this potentially I feel like could be woven in better. And he was so generous, as were the writers, just to be able to all think tank it, because that was the bit, the spirit of the script felt collaborative. And that's my favorite experience. I love being with people who are just constantly open to making things better, regardless of ego. That being said, I think Margot's confidence and how comfortable she is in her own skin was something that I hadn't played before, and I was excited about that, and excited about the prospect of a performance within a performance. I thought that that would be fun.
Yeah, and that's actually I was going to kind of ask you guys about that, because learning about these characters and what's really going on with them is one of the most intriguing things about the film. And I was curious, like how much backstory was talked about with either the writers or the director, and then how much of that work is just you kind of imagining, what their pasts are.
I mean, yeah, we sat down with Mark and discussed their relationship, how they'd come to meet each other, how much time they'd spent together before this moment, and then that was really fun to then go through the beginning of the script until it's revealed more about their dynamic and who they really are. It's fun then to just put a few little breadcrumb clues in there where you go, okay, so this, if you watch again the second time, you can go, oh, I didn't pick that up the first time, but you can read that line in two different ways, and it can have completely different, wildly different meanings. So that was a fun thing for us to play in terms of the characters' dynamic with each other.
And another thing I really enjoyed about it is that it's almost like a play. I mean, almost every character is in every scene. The blocking is obviously very important, and I wonder if it had that sort of theatrical atmosphere when you guys were either rehearsing or even up to production.
Entirely. I mean, we were all aware of the fact that Mark wanted us all mic'd, all on set, all the time, and that he was shooting 360. So he's like, listen, you better be performing, because the camera might be on you, like at any moment, and that will end up in the film. I had never worked like that. I don't think you had either. And it was so much fun, and it really created this sense of camaraderie between all of us. But the weirdest thing was, you know, usually when it's somebody else's close up, or you could take a break and you could go off and rest, we would all just stay and watch each other because it was such a joy to be able to have front row seats to these performances. I don't think I've ever been part of such a collaborative and supportive cast and crew. Everyone was just enjoying each other and really rooting for them to do the best possible job they could do. And that is, you know, I think down to Mark and the atmosphere that he creates.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Congrats on the film.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.